As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the Bengals who were able to pick up the victory at home. Andy Dalton, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. 31-0, the final score. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Marshawn Lynch, a touchdown run in the victory. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys will start the third quarter with the lead as we get you back out to Denver and hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's third down.
And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
This will be caught by Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Bell, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And you see the last drive, great chunky yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A give to Bell. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter.